Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me again today for March's topic discussion. I am Nick Stern with Robert L. Stern Financial Services, and it's good to see you again. This month, we're going to talk about time investing, which is short for time is most effective for investing. So, this is not relating to timing the market, but rather time in the market. Now, I will say that this segment is really geared towards the millennials, Gen X, and Gen Y. Me personally, I would be considered in Generation Y as I was born in 1985. I've been working full time for nearly 6 years and I'm getting married next year, so I'm very excited about that and starting the next chapter of my life with my fiance, Abby. Many of you may be in a similar situation where you're starting a family, starting a business, you just switched jobs to the role that you really want. Maybe you got a promotion, you're buying a house, or bringing a new life into the world. Or there's so many wonderful and exciting things that are happening for many of us right now, and it's fantastic. So usually, along with all these wonderful and exciting things that are happening, comes with increasing responsibilities. Upkeep on a house, paying for a wedding, bringing a new life into the world. Again, so many exciting and wonderful things happening that it can sometimes be difficult to keep track of. Our late 20s and early 30s are really the time where we're going to build a solid foundation for our futures and provide us with many things to look forward to. So, what is my point? Why am I bringing all this up? Well, as I mentioned, so many wonderful and exciting things are going on, and increasing responsibilities come up, and it can be a lot to keep track of. And we just want to make sure that we are, in fact, building that solid foundation for us, our families, and our future. And there's a critical pillar to our foundation that, in my opinion, often gets overlooked, and that's retirement planning. Typically, not an item that's going to be high on most of our priority lists. It can sometimes be designated as a take care of later item, but I want to emphasize how important it is to think about it now. So it's kind of funny to even think or talk about because it's 30 or 40 years away, or maybe you just never plan on retiring. But for many people out there, it's a life event that they're working towards. Now, particularly for our generation and younger, it's very important that we focus on this goal and we take action now, particularly because there's so much uncertainty out there with how the Social Security system is going to be 40 years from now. The generations preceding us relied heavily on pension programs through their employer and now Social Security. So we're paying into Social Security and we're assuming that we're going to get some type of income stream much later on down the road when we retire, but how it's actually going to be structured and how it's going to impact us and our generation or younger is really yet to be known. So I want to make the point to say that it's really up to us to build our own wealth and our own nest egg, and it's really not something that you want to take care of later. It's an item where you want to take action now. I would say there's a couple misconceptions or reasons why people delay starting or designate it as a take care of later item. A couple might be you need a lot of money to make a difference. I want to wait till I can max out the plan. I can't afford it right now. I'll never retire. And probably one of my favorites is, oh, it's 30 or 40 years away. Why do I need to worry about it now? Or I'll have plenty of time to do it. Well, you do not need a lot of money to make a difference when it comes to time investing. The second there is most people can afford $10 a month to start. And regarding maxing out your plan, well, that's great and it's a great goal to have, but most people aren't going to be able to do that. And if they can, it's not going to be until they hit peak income levels or when they really need to start funding their retirement, which can happen in the late 40s or 50s or maybe even 60s. If you don't plan to fully retire, that's fine, but generally there's going to be a need for additional income as you grow and mature later on in life, particularly in retirement. That could be for travel or something not so fun like healthcare. And we all know healthcare costs are rising by the year. The last reason I want to address with an actual example, and just to let you know, this is a hypothetical example that's strictly for illustrative purposes, but let's focus on time investing, meaning time is most effective for investing. So think 40 years from today. And let's say you start investing $2,000 a year at the beginning of each year for the next 10 years. So your total outlay at the end of that 10-year period is $20,000. You earn a 7% annual rate of return every year. And when you stop investing at the 10-year period, you continue to earn that 7% until you retire 30 years from the time that you stop investing. So now let's take your friend. Your friend invests 10 years from today. So they'll have 30 years until retirement. And they put $2,000 away at the beginning of each year for the next 30 years. So their total outlay is $60,000. They receive a 7% annual rate of return. You both retire at the same exact time. No withdrawals are made from the account in between now and retirement. So let's just present the facts here. You start investing 10 years earlier, and you only put up $20,000 total. Your friend started investing 10 years from now and put up $60,000. So a pretty significant difference on how much you put up versus what they put up total, meaning your principal. So you both receive the same annual rate of return. The only difference, again, is you started investing 10 years earlier and you put a lot less away. So at the end of the 40-year period, who has more money? Well, you do. So at the end of that 40-year period, you're actually going to have $225,000 and your friend is going to have $202,000. That's a $23,000 difference. Pretty significant. The simple takeaway from this example is start now. Take action now. The longer you wait to fund your future, the less money that you'll have in your future. Plain and simple. Again, just a hypothetical example strictly for illustrative purposes. And if you have any questions on how I came to those numbers, please feel free to call or email. With that being said, I hope this has been helpful and I hope this can make a positive impact. And the number one takeaway from this is take action now, even if it's something that you think isn't a lot of money. You can do it. You can start out with $10 a month, whatever you can afford. The idea behind it is time, because you can never get time back. And this money is designated for retirement, so we're talking 30 or 40 years from now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you joining me today. And again, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or would like to contact or see how we might be able to help you, there's an email and number at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much again. See you next month.